There is no longer a doubt. The CIA and the FBI rigged 2016 and 2020. Don't be afraid to say it. It's a fact. This agency serves no good purpose anymore. The agency needs to be disbanded. Fire everyone involved in this stuff. Everyone, no excuses. Disband the entity. It is the only way at this point.
Folks, let me just tell you, if you are experiencing imposter syndrome out there, the man you just heard was Dan Bongino. He has spent years criticizing the FBI. He's been spreading far-right conspiracy theories, and he's still going to be the number 2 at that very same agency. One could argue, I would, he's unqualified. You put that imposter syndrome in your pocket, because look at Dan Bongino. This is all after, though. He's not going to go to the FBI until after he winds down his right-wing podcast that is ending next week. And unlike every other deputy director that came before him in the agency's history, Bongino will be the first to have never worked a day at the FBI. Joining me now is someone that actually knows something about the FBI is Frank Figliuzzi. He's MSNBC's senior national security analyst, and he's a former FBI official. Frank, I don't even know what to say.
I hear the frustration in your voice, and I can tell you it's being echoed throughout much of the FBI community, certainly my own thoughts. Look, it's sad that what I'm about to say, which is that his lack of qualifications professionally is the least of my concerns. What is my chief concern is that we now have with him 2 conspiracy theorists leading the FBI. He has repeatedly claimed that the FBI planned and executed the insurrection on January 6th, as you just played, that indeed they rigged the presidential election, on and on. Oh, how about this? That the FBI knows who planted the pipe bombs the night of January 5th before the insurrection, but won't tell us. So I'm eager for his podcast to wrap up so he can get into office and divulge who it was that planted those pipe bombs. Here's the problem. He hates the FBI. He openly disdains it. He's called for it to be dismantled. And he doesn't clearly understand the role the FBI plays in keeping us safe from terrorists and spies and organized crime. He does not seem to get that. He spent 2 years as a cop. He did 12 years as a Secret Service agent and then left mid-career, which is relatively rare. And now he's got to lead the organization that he disdains. That's not a recipe for good leadership, and I wish him the best. I want him to succeed. I spent 25 years there. I know what the FBI does every day, even as we speak, Simone. There's a surveillance team somewhere in the United States looking at a potential terrorist who may or may not be executing a terror attack right now that they're going to prevent. He's going to get briefed on that week 1, on all of the threats to the country. And when he says things like, you know, they need to go work drugs. Yeah, the FBI does work drugs on a transnational organized crime level, but the top priorities of the FBI are countering terrorism, countering foreign spies, countering cyber attacks, civil rights, corruption. None of that's getting mentioned by him or Kash Patel, which worries me because it seems to me they just think the FBI should be out there working street crime. They don't get it.
You know, Frank, I am glad that you made the point that it's not just that he hasn't, the reason he's unqualified, if you will, isn't just because he hasn't worked at the FBI before, even though the past 2 FBI deputy directors have had I think they came to the role with more than 35 years combined experience in the agency. And you just made some of these points there, but you also wrote about this on MSNBC.com, that there are many reasons why Bongino is the wrong pick to help lead the FBI. But, you know, you understand what it is, Frank. Therefore, he's the pick. He's not going anywhere, and that is why you wish him well. I am concerned, though, about the conspiracy theories. It's one thing when you are saying something on a podcast, but it's an entirely another thing when you have the intel and the information, when you know what is true and what is, in fact, a lie, a conspiracy theory, yet you continue to spout the things anyway. I am not optimistic that Bongino is all of a sudden going to have a change of heart once he sees the intel. But what are folks within the FBI hoping for? Do they think that just the sheer magnitude of the job will have some effect on him?
Well, I hate to say this, but what they think is the sheer magnitude of the job is going to weigh too heavily on him, that he's not ready for this. What he's about to do is run the day-to-day operations of the FBI. What will be on his desk and briefed to him 2-3 times a day are the most high-profile, most complex, most dangerous cases the FBI is working around the world, and they're not certain, based on his track record, what he has already told us, who he told us he is, that he can get this and do it right and not fake it. You know what his response was to this? On his podcast, he said, I know people are unsure, because I'm this guy that yells and rants on a podcast, but I'm telling you, I've got all kinds of different skill sets. You could be a Little League coach and a teacher at the same time. You could be a parent and something else at the same time. He doesn't get it. Those are different skill sets, but they're not about who you are as a person and your values. If who you are is someone who believes lies and doesn't value facts and evidence, you're not fit to run an FBI that is all about facts and evidence.